There's still a flood threat with a lot of this as it continues to head on towards the north and east. I'm not sure how long you guys want me to go with this. I'm thinking with some of this rotation beginning to weaken a little bit, we can probably get you back to coverage. And if we see anything beginning to spin up again here, we will certainly break back in. Again, this tornado warning right now goes until 11:30 a.m. Doppler radar indicated, again, meaning not necessarily something spotted on the ground. And I love seeing this last loop in through here. It does look like that appendage, this little part right in through here, beginning to break up just a little bit. So I'm going to throw it back to, okay, so we are going to stay on, actually. Okay, this is good. So as we stay on here, again, just watching that little dip right in through here. And if you're just joining us right now, Doppler radar indicated tornado, moving to the northeast here at 25 miles per hour. And again, some of the areas included with this, I just want to start from the top, just in case you're just jumping in. It's going to be Davie, Plantation, Sunrise, Tamarack, and Lauderdale, Lauderhill, excuse me, some of those areas as that continues to work to the northeast. It's this red area. Now, you see that Weston is still in that tornado warned area. We don't have to worry about that tornado threat here anymore. It's this particular little hook right in through there, moving to the northeast that we're most concerned about. And it is moving at 25 miles per hour. So again, here's a new swath here showing some of the arrival times with this. So Tamarack, Lauderdale Lakes, North Lauderdale, Margate. So anywhere from 11:38, 11:39, 11:41, 11:46. So basically, as you look at the time right now, that's giving us about a 20-minute heads up on some of these. So these can dissipate and then form again, right? So this is why you don't want to let your guard down. Now, the latest indications do make me feel a little bit better. If we could go to velocity again one more time here. This is where what you don't want to see, bright green, bright red. So again, this is certainly some good news to report here, where it looks like that what was once a well-defined circulation is now beginning to open up a little bit, becoming a little bit more ragged. So even if we don't get a tornado out of this, you don't want to let your guard down. We've seen blinding lightning, blinding rains from some of these storms from earlier today. A lot of lightning with this. And again, these are areas really hit hard with recent rain. So the ground is already saturated. Doesn't take much to get additional flooding here. We're going to have some rainfall rates with this, probably easily in that couple inch per hour mode here.
Still not sure about that.
That's interesting. Siri, listening to me. I think we can all relate, right? So again, 2 inches per hour rainfall rate with this. And again, we've seen a little bit of hail. There were some hail signatures with this as well. So thank you, Chelsea, for throwing that up as well. 1/2 inch hail. When we had a special weather statement on this particular thunderstorm a little earlier, that's exactly what we were wondering if it was going to happen here. That's exactly what it was warned on. It's potential for some pea-sized hail. So when you get 2 inches of rain per hour, you want this cell to keep moving, which it is. It's moving to the northeast at 25 miles per hour. So now it looks like that little hook, that little appendage working right over 595, which means the western area right to 75. We're probably on the other side of this now, but this is very heavy rain falling right across the Sawgrass Expressway as that cell continues to move off towards the north here. So again, this was earlier a thunderstorm cell capable of producing winds to 40 miles per hour, very heavy rain, blinding lightning, and then Doppler radar started indicating some of that rotation. And basically Doppler radar, it can measure the raindrops, and if you have raindrops moving towards or away from the actual radar site, this is going to color it green or red. And when you have green touching red, that's typically where that tight rotation is. So it's a great tool that you have here with Doppler radar. Again, there's that little hook with that. And if we could go to velocity one more time here, we're probably going to continue to see some improvement as that continues to fall apart. But listen, that doesn't mean that it's going to continue to improve, right? So the Weather Service may go ahead and stay with this as it continues to move to the north and east. But I like seeing, again, bright green, bright red would have me most worried here. That would indicate the most significant rotation with this. And this continues to move off towards the north and east. This just goes to show whenever you have thunderstorms in the forecast in South Florida, I've been here long enough to know now, even if there's not an organized severe threat, these thunderstorms here can be pretty vicious, at least with the lightning and the heavy rain. And this time of the year, hail can be a concern. Then obviously you get these occasional spin-ups And the Weather Service doing the right thing, issuing that tornado warning. Again, this is out of an abundance of caution, not because a tornado was actually spotted, but just because we saw that little signature right there. And even without Doppler radar, it's that little hook that gets us a little concerned. And then when you see rotation with that, pattern recognition says, this is what generally will fire up some of these weak tornadoes. So continues to move off towards the northeast at 25 miles per hour. It looks like we're in much better shape now along Interstate 75, 595. It looks like this is now pulling just north of you. So Sunrise not labeled here, but Sunrise is right in through here, Sawgrass Mills Mall. Tornado warning expiring at 11:30, which is 9 minutes from now. So we may stay with you this entire time here. So there's Tamarack beginning to see some of the heavy rain as well. Lauderdale Lakes. What we want to see is all of this heavy rain skipping out on Fort Lauderdale and Dania Beach, and it looks like it is with this particular cell. So let's see if we can look at some of the hail forecast with this as well and see what's going on with that. That's the pink shading in through here. And that was what initially caught my attention with this particular storm, was the 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts and some small hail potential with this. So again, it's going to be right into this area, possible to probable. And it's this time of the year where temperatures upstairs in the atmosphere are very chilly. So when you get a lot of lift, you can get these water droplets to get above that freezing level pretty easily here, and you can get hail. That's why you tend to see more hail in the spring than the fall. Much colder upstairs, that freezing level much lower. So you get these big updrafts. You can get some of these thunderstorms to knock out some serious hail. So possibly up to about half an inch of hail, and that again is going to be right around the Sunrise area. Out of Weston, thankfully, moving to the northeast again at 25 miles per hour. All right, so we've got Larissa mic'd up as well. If Larissa wants to chime in, I don't know if you are driving Max 1 right now. Anything that you're seeing over there, Larissa?
Hey there, Berg. Yes, we are. It's a dual effort here. Chelsea and I are back here in the weather office also looking at these storms. And right now, just from looking at some of the technology that I use on my phone, it does look like that rotation has definitely broken up. But still, the threat is still there. If the National Weather Service is going to continue with this warned cell, then folks need to remember, if they live in the Sunrise area, this is shooting straight towards Tamarack. Folks always need to remember, rule of thumb, you want to go into the most interior part of your house, away from windows, away from doors. This is coming down pretty heavily out there, and we always talk about protecting yourself because the number one concern with this is flying debris. So you don't want to stick your head out of the window. You want to make sure you're in a closet, underneath a stairwell, maybe you're in your bathroom, somewhere safe, somewhere secure, as this warned cell continues to move north and east at about 15 miles an hour. Let's see if the National Weather Service is bringing up any information. What they're saying right now is that there is still rotation there. This system is also producing lots of frequent lightning, and anytime you see lots of lightning within a storm, that's an indication that it's a strengthening storm, even though the rotation has certainly dissipated within the last 20 minutes or so. But nonetheless, this is a storm that was tornado warmed. It's capable of producing a tornado. It was located in the Sawgrass Mills Mall area over Sunrise, moving northeast, and that was at around 25 miles an hour. So that warning will continue here maybe for the next 6 minutes. So if you guys find yourself in Tamarack, you want to take action now. You want to go inside of the most interior part of your home, whether that is a closet, whether that's under a stairwell. These are usually rain-wrapped tornadoes, so you really won't see anything but a sheet of rain coming down, and it's going to be hard to see. And if you're driving in these locations, maybe you're joining us from the app, you want to make sure you're pulling over. You want to be somewhere safe. You don't want to drive in this stuff because these strong winds are certainly capable of lifting your car. Not only that, they're capable of lifting your winds are capable of lifting trees, and that can also lead to bodily injury to your car. So you just want to make sure you're using caution. In the latest loop, here's some good news. The latest loop did show that that warned cell has become a little bit smaller. So that means that less people are going to be impacted by this. As we zoom into radar, you can still kind of see a hook, and that's just a signature that we usually see with a trained eye that we look for with with these storms. You can still see a hook, which indicates to me that there is still some spin here, which is why the National Weather Service is probably going to continue with this storm. But nonetheless, it's moving northeast. It's moving into Tamarack now. There's heavy rain over you. If that's where you're joining us from, maybe you have a loved one that lives in this part of town, you want to call them. You want to tell them to take cover immediately. Whenever we have these strong storms, we usually see exactly what we're seeing now. That hook echo, that's a great signature. The velocity with the winds coming towards and away from radar. And everything is indicating that the spin is weakening, it's broadening, which is all good things whenever you have a tornado warned area. But that warning will remain in effect for the next 4 minutes over Broward County. If you're just joining us, we did have a tornado warned cell.
And Larissa, while you've been moving the storm around there, I appreciate all the help I'm getting. I had a chance to kind of check in with National Weather Service chat, and they were basically saying that there was a rotating wall cloud spotted with this when it was near Weston, right? So that's another indication when you have spotters out there that are actually seeing that thunderstorm cell rotating. So nothing that actually touched the ground. That's what would actually make it a tornado. Sometimes you see funnels that don't quite touch the ground. It's still a funnel cloud. But this was actually rotating. So some spotters near Weston noticing some of that as it continues to move off towards the north and east. And also Weather Service talking about the possibility of hail, maybe up to about 3/4 of an inch. So I just wanted to add that in there. Because while you were moving that around, I had a chance to check in on some of those updates from the National Weather Service. Yeah, so now it's showing hail potentially getting closer to that 1 inch amount here. So again, yeah, moving off towards the north and east, like you said here, very heavy rainfall along with the rotation, something we'll have to watch. And you are right, though. It does look like that hook beginning to fall apart again. And if we could go to velocity one more time here, and I'll back away here and kind of let you jump in, but I'm seeing the same thing. Larissa, I'm seeing those greens, those bright greens gone here, which is wind being measured towards the actual Doppler radar site, and red is away. So without the bright green, bright red touching, I'm seeing the same thing you're seeing, which is that rotation beginning to open up a little bit.
Yes, and that's always, again, always great. Something great to see when you're covering these events. We've been dealing with very unsettled weather over South Florida, and this just goes to show not even rainy season, but we're approaching. Folks need to absolutely stay weather aware as we continue to get these just nuanced thunderstorms that when the ingredients are there, Berg, you know, anything can happen, and that is the beauty of weather. It's just sometimes you have to really watch it because Mother Nature, as I always say, she does what she wants. And this is one of those cases where we saw this thunderstorm, we saw it beginning to take form, and here we are with the tornado warning.
And Larissa, I hate to interrupt. Again, I know you're busy moving this around, so I had a chance to jump in again. It looks like they are going to allow this to expire at 11:30, and then they're going to continue to watch for potential funnel clouds with this system. So again, nothing actually spotted on the ground. We just, again, saw that signature that indicates rotation, and this is why the Weather Service ended up issuing this tornado warning. There were spotter-indicated rotation with this as well, a wall cloud actually rotating here. Another indication that there was some rotation with this, obviously. And so, again, we are beginning to lose some of that here. It is 11:30 right now, so I think they are going to let this expire. We're going to stay with you until this actually does drop off the radar, and I think it may have actually just expired on max right now. Can you guys confirm that? There we go. So we have just now lost the tornado warning, thankfully. We're going to continue to keep an eye on this. The potential for funnel clouds is definitely there for us here for the balance of the next hour or two as that continues to move to the north and east. So I think we are going to throw it back to coverage here. We're going to get it, but we will be back, and we'll continue to update you on the storm system. As it stands right now, winds still gusting in excess of 40 miles per hour. Hail possibly up to about 3/4 of an inch with this, and funnel clouds as that continues to move off towards the north and east. But that tornado warning has expired. That's the way it stands right now. We'll be on top of it. We'll cut in if any active weather breaks again.